doesn't want to get emotionally entangled with someone. He doesn't want to get
Okay.
emotionally involved with someone. He doesn't want anybody to hurt him.
Hey mama, how are you? Welcome back to my channel. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. As you can tell from the title, we're talking about desperation and how we can distinguish between desperation and love so that we can operate from a place of love rather than desperation. And today I have Pastor Obi with me. He has been married for 17 years. He's been with his wife for 23. He's known his wife for 23 years. So I thought it would be nice to bring a different perspective. My perspective is that of a woman that has been married, divorced, but he can also bring a different perspective. That's why I'm bringing guests on to talk and to give us a different perspective from a man's point of view. So this time we have a very seasoned man with us. Pastor Obi, I am so happy and excited that you've joined me. I know you're a busy man, but I needed your perspective, and I'm happy that you've honored me today and that you're here.
Yeah, thank you, Kathy. I totally appreciate this opportunity to have a conversation with you, and I'm glad I'm here as well.
All right, perfect. Okay, so our topic for today is why some men see love as desperation. And before we go into it, I just wanted to tell you a little bit of the backstory.
Okay.
So obviously speaking to a few women in our women group, the discussion came up as to why, us as women, um, we can see it as showing love and care. And this particular lady, she came out from a relationship or a marriage where she felt she wasn't patient enough. So now her second time round, although she's not married to the guy, she's being very patient and tolerating a lot, whereby the guy is seeing this as desperation. So her question to us was, I don't understand why men see love as desperation. But as a woman, there's only so much I can only give her my perspective as to why we do it. But as a man experiencing it must be totally different. Does that make sense?
Yeah, sure
All
does.
right.
Yeah.
So if perhaps you can tell us, is there a difference between love and desperation?
Um, yes, definitely there's a huge difference between those two. But let me say
Okay.
this, men, we are really daft. Am I allowed to use that word? We're really daft when
Really
it
tough.
comes to emotional intelligence.
Mm,
Don't know our way around emotions because probably due to the way we were created, and we have to
okay.
learn it because it doesn't come natural to us. Like we were having this conversation yesterday because throughout this month is our relationship month, and we're having this same conversation, not the same conversation, but we're having a conversation around men and their emotions. Uh,
Mm,
and we're not, it doesn't come natural to us like it does with the women. So we need to learn. Like I said, I told you, and I've been in a relationship with my wife for 23 years, and I'm still learning. I'm not there
mm.
yet, but I'm still learning. But if you ask my wife, she'll tell you that I'm a whole lot better than I was, you know, at the beginning. So it's a
Yeah, so
journey.
it's a process, isn't it?
It's a process. It's a journey, and we must sign up for it. Most men don't. They don't care. They don't give two hoots. They just live their life the way they want to live it, and they don't pay particular attention to their woman and how she feels, because the way women think and the way we think are not the same. We think, sorry about that. We
No, no,
think
no problem.
we think differently. We
Mm-hmm.
think differently. So we all, like this. Of course, you must have heard of the metaphorical phrase that men are from Mars and women are from Venus. Just like a
Venus,
phrase,
yeah.
just to emphasize these differences between the man and the woman. So love is not the same as desperation. In fact,
Mm,
desperation tends towards lust, infatuation more than it does love.
Mm.
And like I told you, man, we are emotionally daft, so we misinterpret a lot of signs and
All
signals.
the men are going to comfort you in the comment section.
But that's the truth.
They say,
We have
how dare you, Pastor Obi, say that about us?
okay. Let me put in a different way. Most men are.
Mhm.
Men are. Most men are.
Exactly. You have to put most.
Most men are. And
Mhm.
we need to sign up to on that quest to learn, to listen, to observe, and ask questions. Until you ask questions and communicate, you are going to misinterpret a whole lot of stuff. Now, that being said, the misinterpretation thing can also
Mhm.
stem from the man's own experiences. I don't know if that
Okay.
makes like maybe um, culture, um, past relationships, and some societal norms, and even personal insecurities. So when they
Mm.
see a woman giving our heart, because women communicate how they feel better than men. A man might feel
Exactly.
love and they fight it. I don't know if you watch or if you watch this previous season of Love Island, the one that just ended.
Oh no, not this season. I watched the other
Oh.
one, but not this season.
Okay, because my wife and I were into relationship. We have this setup called Marriage Project, where we help singles, young people, even the married, navigate the turbulent waters of relationship. So we really watch all those
All things related to relationship makes
yes,
sense.
because we're getting older, we don't want to lose touch of what is happening with the younger folks, if you know what I mean. So we
I
watch,
understand, yeah.
so we update to be updated on what is going
Mm,
on. And
exactly.
there was this couple, Tyreek, I think that is his name, and Emma,
Okay.
and Tyreek in one of those games they play said that he lost count at 100 of how many ladies he has been with. So he's a
Oh,
self-pronounced, self-crowned player.
Playboy.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he called it a game, and he made a lot of references to that throughout the season. And he called it a game. But because he's now holed up in this villa with this lady he finds attractive for 6 weeks or so, he started experiencing some emotions that he's not used to. Some affection for this woman that he's not used to. So if you watch him, he kept on fighting it. He kept on
Mm,
fighting it. Kept on fighting it. So at times it's due to our personal experiences, our personal insecurities. And you can see from that this is one of the reasons why he's a player, why he doesn't want to get emotionally entangled with someone. He doesn't want to get
okay.
emotionally involved with someone. He doesn't want anybody to hurt him. That's exactly
Mm,
what's going on. So he has built these walls around his emotions, and one of the walls is to just go about sleeping around. So at
okay.
times it's from the man's own experiences, past experiences that causes that, if you know what I mean. So
I
it's not
understand,
really,
yeah.
that's why I will stand on the fact that love is not the same as desperation. So let me
Okay.
hear from
So,
you.
so
Well,
okay. No, that's fine. No, sorry to cut you. So love is not the same as desperation. It's
no,
just the other person depends how they receive it,
how they
right?
receive, how they interpret it.
How they
So
interpret it and from their life's experience. So if somebody's being kind to them, being patient, because love is supposed to be patient, long suffering, and all the good stuff. It's not the woman's fault, so to speak, from the scenario I gave at the beginning. So it's not the woman's fault, it's more of the man's lived experience, right?
exactly, you know.
Okay. But
From
from a woman's perspective also,
yeah,
sorry, I feel
okay,
like sometimes we can
hold on, yeah.
be desperate. Does that make sense? Like it
Oh, yeah.
depends the energy. that is behind it. So, for example, if I'm dating a man and I'm calling him and I'm being caring and all the necessary things to show love,
Yeah.
right? It could also be coming from a place of desperation, right? From the woman's
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
perspective. And you mentioned something
yeah.
quite critical because you said it's desperation comes from lust, comes from obsession. I think you mentioned in the beginning. So we're not just blaming men. I feel like women also can have this energy. You know, like I said, the woman's feeling like my first relationship didn't work. So this time around, I have to just do the
Take it.
most, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah. And thank you for bringing that up because I did finish that thought. Yes, absolutely. I'm going to repeat what I said. Love cannot be desperate. So whenever a woman is desperate or is doing things that, is a fallout of desperation, it is not love. That's why I use those two words. It could be lust, it could be infatuation, it could be obsession. It cannot be love. There's something my wife told me when we got married, and she was like, "Thank you. Thank you for doing this." And I was like, "What?" She said, "Remember, because we met in school. As I was leaving school, she was like coming in and just had 1 year. It was my final year. So as I was leaving school, I told her something. I told her, see, live your life, date other guys." And she just shrugged her shoulders. And later on in marriage, this is like 7, 8, 9, 10 years later. She was like, "Thank you for telling me that. Thank you. Thank you for giving me that permission to date other people."
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you for giving me that permission to date other people. Firstly, love does not grab. Love does not try to hold on to things. Love lets go.
Hmm.
Love releases. So love is synonymous with freedom and liberty. Anything that doesn't give you freedom and liberty is not love. Anything that is controlling, especially when it comes to controlling your will. Now, let's not use control and influence as similar um, in meaning, but they are two different things. But I won't go deep into that. But love releases. Love lets go. Do you know why? Because love is confident, for lack of a better word. Love is confident in what it feels and believes the best in what it will receive. So love believes the best of the other person. I think you can also find that in First Corinthians chapter 13, where they listed the characteristics of love. You know, love does not believe the worst. Love believes the best. Now, if you believe the best, that means you're hopeful for the best. You will always release the person. Because if you try to work it all out by yourself, try to, do the most, do all of that, you are now introducing human external influence on the process of love, which should come natural. So when you try to interject, you are short-circuiting the process of love, and it will no longer be pure because it now has some element of effort. Honestly, I don't believe love should involve a lot of effort. That does not mean that we should not do things, to make love work. What I mean by effort is trying to make it happen. There are things you just do that comes natural based on how you feel.
Hmm.
That's not what I'm talking about. But when you now want to do, okay, I must do this, I must do that, I must show myself, approved, da, 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 da.
Trying to prove yourself.
Yeah. That's my own personal idea. It might have worked for other people, but I believe that love should be pure and should be allowed to follow the natural process.
Hmm. Amen. So you
Love,
feel okay, go on.
yeah, love that is
I was
built
just I was
on
just going
that.
to say, like when a
Yeah,
woman
go on.
is trying too hard, sorry to say, when a
Yeah.
woman is trying too hard, then then that can be translated as desperation, and then therefore you get taken advantage of, right? Because if the woman is coming from a love space, right?
Yeah,
If she loves herself, maybe this is a woman's
good.
perspective. If she loves
Just made,
herself, right?
just made a
She won't
very
be
valid
desperate.
point.
She'll be relaxed,
Hmm,
like you said,
hmm.
right? So the
Yeah,
man can see that, okay, this woman loves
exactly.
me, but then she won't take anything anyhow. She loves me from a healthy space. It's not a do or die. Like she's not busy trying to like, I really love you. I'll take anything.
Exactly. Love should never do that. Love
Mm.
always sets boundaries as well. And that's something
Boundaries and
most men.
freedom, like you mentioned
Yeah.
earlier.
Love also sets boundary and also gives freedom. Let me also say this so people that are listening will not get me wrong. I'm not saying you don't do anything when you're in love, but rather you do things from the place of genuine love, not from the place of desperation. So how do you know which is coming from where? Is by asking yourself
That's
that,
very key. That's very key.
yeah. You need to ask yourself that question. Okay, what I'm about to do now, where is it coming from? Desperation, or I feel genuinely for this person? And because of the way I feel, I'm doing this. Because love gives, if you know what I mean. Love
Mm,
gives and does not expect anything in return. So that means there are some things you do because you love that person. But always ask yourself, I hope this action or what I'm about to do is because I love him, not because I want to hold on to him or hold on to her. So,
mm,
because if you're doing it because you want to hold on to her, this is my own personal opinion, and I'm not saying it's the right thing. I'm just giving my own personal viewpoint. I believe there's an element of manipulation. And once you bring that
mm.
element of manipulation, it's like, stirring up muddy waters. And it's no longer pure. I don't know if you know what I mean. I'm saying this because I've been in a relationship with one woman for 23 years, and we've been through a lot.
Mm,
When I say a lot, a lot. And
a
remember, I
lot.
told you that we were together for 7 years before marriage. Now you assume that if you've been with somebody for 7 years before marriage, you know that person. But Kathy, to shock you that we got married, and the first couple of weeks and months, I'm like, who is this person? Who is this person?
Yes,
We've been together for 7 years, and yet the first month, I'm asking that question. So, and that is why we also need to understand that marriage is totally different from what I call boyfriend-girlfriend relationship. Yeah,
exactly. And marriage comes with a lot of perseverance and weathering the storm.
absolutely.
Okay. But
Thank you for saying that.
before you make your point, can
Yeah.
I circle back to what you said? I
Yeah.
just want you to highlight something just
Okay.
before I forget. While you were talking, you mentioned during dating your wife, during the dating process, you
Yeah.
said to her, "Oh, go off and date other men."
Yeah.
Um, I mean, from a woman's perspective, it's like I can imagine a man saying to you, a man that you like, that you're trying to date, and it's like, "Oh, Kathy, go and date other people." That will be seen as, oh, maybe this guy doesn't really like me. Maybe this guy is not really into me like that. So, what made you make such a statement?
Okay. I don't want to get too spiritual now, but I'm easy
No,
to get
no, it's
spiritual.
okay.
Uh, I have a unique way of first, I thank God for something always, and that is I was able to learn early in life how to be led by the Spirit of God. So when I met my wife, I knew she was the one. Now, mind you, she wasn't perfect. In fact, she was so imperfect. So imperfect.
As
And
we
I
all
wasn't.
are.
Till today, I'm not even perfect. Like I told you, I'm still learning.
Mhm.
But she was not perfect at all. So it wasn't because that she was perfect and I was like, oh, I'm going to marry her and all that. No, she was not imperfect. But I could sense in my spirit that she is the one for me. And that's also what gave me that leeway and that ability to let her go. So it's like, if truly she is the one for me, she will come back to me.
Mhm.
Secondly, the 1 year we had, I was able to also show her that it is you and you alone and no one else. So she knew all of that. So when I said to her, go date other people is because she was young, firstly, and I don't want her to just know only one person. Because in marriage, if she just kept only to me, she's in her 40s now, and only to me. And because I'm a crazy guy, I've done a lot of things that have got her thinking. Now imagine if she kept only to me, she'd be like, what if? What if? Oh, the grass might have been greener in the Smiths. Oh, what if? What if? So I wanted to eliminate that what if question. So go date other guys, see how other guys are, then compare them to me, then check your spirit and find, that lead in that direction. That's why I did that,
Okay,
because
so it wasn't because you were dating other people and you just wanted
I
her to
never
explore
dated.
her options.
So I never, once I met her, I never dated any other person till tomorrow, and I won't. Never.
Amen.
And,
And
and,
how
I'm,
long did it
and
take
I'm,
you to
I'm,
know?
say that again.
Because you said you knew instantly when you met your wife that she was the one. So I want
Exactly.
you to touch on this for us ladies, because sometimes, some people are with a guy for 7 years, 20 years, and he hasn't proposed, and the women are still waiting. Okay. So I just want you to answer this for us. How long did it take you to know? What are the signs what convinced you to know? Like, if you give us a timeline, please.
Okay. Like I said, I have a unique way of hearing from God, and it's unique to me. So I usually don't get into details because I don't want people to hear my own way or method of hearing from God and want that,
Mhm.
because God leads us in different ways.
In different ways.
Yeah, you must
I
discover.
suppose it's not so much about the spirituality of it. It's more of knowing. To you as a man, do you feel like it's okay for a woman to wait for 2 years before a man proposes, 3 years, 4 years? Not really the spiritual aspect, but maybe just the logical aspect.
No, I'm totally against that. Totally
Okay.
against that. We spoke on that 2 Sundays ago. Totally against that. Once you're in a relationship and you're not that young, like you're not teenagers or anything, you must define that relationship. Like I told you, we only spent 1 year in school. In that 1 year, I made everything. I put all my cards on the table. So she knew. She knew.
Mm.
Yeah. So you must. And if the man is not saying anything, women are wise. There's a way you can go about getting information or asking questions in a, you know, good,
Mm-hmm.
nice way. You drop it here and
Hints.
there and
Mm-hmm.
listen to what he's saying or what he's not saying. And then if it's not like men, like I told you, we are daft. If he's not catching the hint, then you must have a conversation about it. Like, sweetheart, um, we met, we've done this, we've been this, we've gone through all of this, blah, blah, blah. What is the future for us? What are you
Hmm.
seeing in the future?
But
You
some
know,
people will say that will make you come across as desperate as a woman if you have to sit a man down and say,
no,
where's this relationship going?
absolutely not. And every lady listening to me, that is not desperation at all. That firstly tells the man you're a woman of purpose. It's only a person that doesn't have direction or purpose that will live anyhow. But once you have
Hmm.
a purpose and you know where you're going to, you have a vision, there's something you're seeing, there's something you're aiming for, and you're already on that journey towards that thing. No, 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 no. You must define relationships. You don't want anyone to waste your time. See, time is the most important resource every human being has in equal measure. It is the most valuable. You don't waste it for no one. So when you ask those questions, first, don't just come out full on. What are we doing? Where are we going to? No.
Exactly.
Drop.
You strangle him. Where are we going?
Exactly. Drop the hints. Drop the hints and listen to what he's saying. Drop
Mm.
the hints. Drop it here and there. When you're watching movies and things like that come up, just use it as an opportunity to, ask questions and listen. I always tell ladies that if you truly listen to what a man is saying, you can deduce a lot of things. The problem a lot of women have is that they don't listen. They are eager to talk, 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 and they say the men don't talk. Men don't talk because you don't allow us to talk. Men don't talk because when we even want to talk, you don't listen. So listen. Whenever the man is saying things regarding relationship, listen carefully. Read between the lines. The man is going to speak and say things about himself. You can tell who a man is, where he's going to, if he's truly, invested in that relationship by just listening to him. You can tell, you can deduce that. The man will pour out his heart to you in words without, not as well, let's talk about love. No, in just general conversation, he will tell you what is going on in his heart if you listen. If you listen. And from those, when you put those things together, you will truly tell. A lot of women, let me also say this, a lot of women also knows that this isn't going anywhere. And they know, deep down, like I said, the Holy Spirit.
Yes, that is very true.
You know, but you just want to try, do this one, let's fight for it, let's do that. See, listen to me. Don't waste your time on any relationship that is going nowhere. Don't.
Please say that one more time.
Don't waste your time in any relationship that is going nowhere. Secondly,
amen to that.
Secondly, there is this, talk, stigma, and it is false. And I want to bring it up for every lady to listen to. They say there are more women than men in the world. I've heard some people say the ratio is 2-1. Some have said is 5-1, 4-1. Listen. Go to Google. Do the search.
Google is your best friend.
The number of men and women in the world are the same. The women just a little, 0.0 something percent more than the men, just a little. Just a little. When you check the first 0 to 3 years old, of course, there are many men, many women, many men than women, to shock you, babies, many more baby boys than women. But what happens is that the infant mortality affects the male child more than the female child. So that is where that ratio now, harmonizes. So it's
Pastor Obi is bringing us statistics. I like that.
So it's as if the women are not that more in number, just a little fraction more. So don't believe that talk. There are a lot of men out there for you. All you just have to do is to focus on your goal. Focus on your purpose. Once you focus on your goal, you focus on your purpose, you become highly attractive to men. But when your focus is marriage, relationship, you lose your attraction. But once you see a working lady, she's pursuing this, she's pursuing that. Oh my God, high quality men are like, wow, who is that? They will go fighting for her, But once you're like relationship driven, everything all about you is relationship, you are not that fascinating for men. One of the ways to be fascinating is to do as if, though it's not truly your emotions, but you are pretending, let me use that word, you are pretending as if you're not interested in the relationship. You are living your life, you're pursuing your career, you're pursuing this, you're pursuing that. Oh, you're going to make that man like, pant after you and chase you. That is the truth. It's very, we find it very, very attractive. Okay, I said we didn't get married for 7 years. And you might think I was the one that delayed. No, she was the one that told me, she's not ready to get married. Yes. She told me.
What was her reason, if you don't mind sharing?
Because I wanted to get married early. She said, no. She has to finish her degree, finish this one, because she's a doctor. She has to do her residency. She has to do the other one. I should never talk about marriage. Are you saying?
Amen. I love how she flipped the script on you. Because in the beginning, you were the one like, oh, go and date other people, blah, blah, blah. And now she's like, hold on, I'm not ready. I've got goals. I love that.
it makes a woman fascinating. You just wonder, who is this person? You're now chasing, you're now following her like a puppy dog. You're all around her because she's pretending as if it doesn't matter to her, but it really matters. It was that she told me that now marriage, her mom drummed marriage into her. She said if she has a daughter, she would never do that. So what she's trying to say, that she was brought up as per marriage, marry early, but she never gave in to that advice. She pursued her career, she focused on that, and she was so alluring and fascinating to me that I could not look around. I could not. There was no way. It never happened.
Amen.
I was just zeroed in on her, you know.
Amen. So as women, once we zero in on our purpose, our focus should be on our goals, what it is that makes us happy, then we become more fascinating and alluring to men. And then that would ease the desperation or the eagerness to please or to prove ourselves to men, basically.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for that, Pastor Obi. Like, you've shared so many nuggets. I don't even know where to start from. Is there anything else on your heart, in closing, that you want to share, or where people can find maybe your ministry or what it is that you're currently doing, any projects?
Oh, I do a lot
Perhaps.
of okay. Firstly, I'm an ex-banker, so I do consulting. I'm a chief strategist of Masterclass Consult. So I do a little bit of business consulting. Like I've said, I'm also the head teacher. I prefer to call myself that, of Activate Leadership Institute, to do a lot of leadership programs. I'm the lead pastor of Activate Church up here in Warrington, Manchester area. And like I also mentioned, my wife and I, we also have this marriage project where we help single people, even the married. We prepare them for marriage. We also have a marriage school, and we also have a counseling business. If you want to talk to anybody, you're going through, anything relationship, we are also here. We will listen to you. You can talk to us. So we are sort of talking therapists as well, and a lot of things.
Amen. So I'll put the link to your relationship counseling, everything. I'll put the link in the description so where people can reach out to you. All my single ladies, the single moms who want to maybe talk through their emotions and maybe find a relationship, can speak to you and speak to your wife, and the wealth of wisdom that you guys have. You've been married for like 17 years, been together for 23, I believe. I might not be getting the numbers right, but you've put in the work, and
Right.
definitely, ladies, you need to check them out.